Hello and welcome to today's movie review. Today we're going to talk about the horror film that is called Ready or Not. This film stars Samara Weaving, at least I believe that's how it's pronounced. She's not really done a lot so far. Her big credit is a film that hasn't even come out yet, and that's Bill and Ted 3. I believe that's subtitled something like Bill and Ted Face the Music, but that's not what we're here about. We're here about Ready or Not, and this is a horror film that harkens back to the 80s era slasher films. And I'm talking Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street. They were always full of blood and guts and just rampant murder, but they were kind of funny too. Looks that some of these kids had, or some of the things that they would say. And I mean, this woman punched out a little kid. So it made me laugh, but not in the haha, that was funny kind of way. More like, that's awkward kind of way. And it's bloody. So this is more for people like my age who remembers these 80s films. This isn't like your It kind of horror or things like that. This is I got a hole in my hand and I'm gonna slam it through a nail kind of horror film. Gotta admit, that made me kind of cringe. But I had fun with it though. Actually, for a kind of a brief overview of the film, this couple gets married. The bride finds out his family likes to play a game, and this game could be we're gonna hunt and kill you, and that's kind of what happens. Um, when you look at it a little deeper, and I'm not gonna spoil it, this is kind of a film that, at its core and its essence, is about nature versus nurture kind of thing. Do you go with your family who knows you and knows your nature and has raised you the way they were, or do you go to the woman you've just married and kind of sees you in a more of a nurturing light and not your full nature? So what do you do? That's kind of the big central crux of the husband's point of view. Absolutely not. This film, under no circumstances, is for children. Besides the ultra violence and the blood and the guts, there is extreme profanity, extreme alcohol and drug use. They're over the top. And there is one, I don't want to call it little because it really isn't little, thing that I want to mention is there is a lot of kind of innuendo and references to the fact that they're a demonic kind of cult, that they worship Satan, and it's something that I feel that you should know going in, that iconography and that is high. It's there. But with that being said, I actually had fun with it. I laughed and I squirmed. I got all those emotions that I felt the filmmaker really wanted to get out of you. And this is not saying this film is not without its faults. It's an independent film, so what I'm going to say is kind of like almost a nitpick, because you really can't fix this without spending a whole ton of money. When there are scenes of Grace is her character, when she is running through the woods, the camera's all running and shaking, and I hate shaky cam. It takes me out of the film. Like, I get that it looks cool because it keeps you into the film and the kind of peril and movement that the character is running through. For me, it just kind of makes me lose focus and I don't know what is going on. I don't like shaky cam, and I felt this film had too much in it. But though I did get a lot of enjoyment out of it. You kind of see, if you pick out the little hints, how how it's going to turn out, especially if you kind of know simple plot structure like I do. You see it, but you're still pleased with it by the end. Um, and that's really all I have to say on this film. I wouldn't necessarily say go and see this film. Here in a couple weeks, we have It Chapter 2. So if you're into horror, that's probably where I'm going to say to go and see. Save this for a home release. Personally, I'm not going to go see It Chapter 2. I got a thing about clowns. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I can't do it. So that it will be one review I won't be doing. Sorry, this is more my style for horror films. So with that said, I have one question, one big question. Have you seen this one or not? That's not really going to be the question. The question I have for you is, what is your all-time favorite hack and slash horror film? Go ahead and leave a comment in the below and let me know how you feel. And if you enjoyed what you've seen today, go ahead and follow me in all my social media in the links below. I tend to talk about a little bit of everything: pulp culture, movies, and video games. And as always, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And until next time, have a great night.